technical SEO is easy and it's not easy at the same time. Yes, you heard me right. It is easy and it's not easy at the same time. And one of the reasons why your content, which is great, is not ranking is because technical SEO is you get and in this video I'm going to teach you technical SEO, why it matters, and how to get your website in order, right? That such that it will be crawlable, it will be friendly to crawlers. Crawlers will be able to understand it and index your website. If this sounds good to you, right, stick around because we're about to go on a deep dive, right? All right. Okay, so I'll give you like a very simple definition of technical SEO. But before then, note that all of the things that you've heard about search engine SEO may not actually be true, right? Most times people talk about the last part of SEO, which is on-site optimization, and they assume that that is the only aspect of SEO. Nah, that's like the last thing. Technical SEO is the first thing that needs to happen, if you really want to take your website or digital footprint seriously. So I just needed to get that out of the way. So what is technical SEO? Technical SEO is the process of optimizing, optimizing. Technical SEO is the process of getting your website structure, your website groundwork, underground work, structure, backend, architecture, every single thing that you're using to build your website, the language, the tools that you're using, the design tools, maybe Figma, making sure that every single thing that you use in the process of building your website will not obstruct search engines from crawling your website. That's number one. Now, it's a process, right? Meaning that you need to be deliberate, right? Making sure that everything that you use to build your website and the process while you're building your website is such friendly to crawlers that they can easily crawl. That's number one. Understand your website, the content, the structure, the linkings, the nuances, get the full grasp of your website, and then index your website appropriately into the right places. Excuse me. Imagine you walk into a library and there is no tag on all the wardrobes in the library, and you're looking for a book and you have to go from one shelf, the levels, to another shelf to find what you're looking for. If you by any chance find your book the first time and you want to go the next time, would you want to go? That's exactly the same thing that happens to crawlers when your website is not in good shape, right? They don't know where to put your website. Should it be under fashion? Should it be under social media? Should it be under web development? Should it be under sales? Should it be under ACAS? Should it be, they have no clue, right? Hence, this my image here, right? The first thing that crawlers do once once you're good to go, you say, oh, I'm good to go. Once you submit your website, because I mean, haven't gotten your website and everything in shape, you need to now submit your website. Right? You need to either submit your website or make it easy for them to crawl, because I mean, Google crawls every website every 90 days. So it's either you wait till the 90 days or you go ahead and submit to the crawlers. Right? You submit to the crawlers and then they crawl to understand. They crawl to understand. Now, having understood your website, then they start indexing the website. Right? Then it's the indexing that leads to ranking. Right? Then after ranking is optimization, so improving on the existing ranks or start positioning for more rankings. You see now, so optimization is not. So when they say search engine optimization, I mean, you can only optimize what is existing, what exists. If it does not exist, then there's no optimizing, right? Then there's actual manufacturing, or creation, right? So it's basically the process of getting crawlers to crawl, understand, index, and then you start ranking, before you start optimization. Now, what are the core elements? Because I mean, we can talk about getting your house in order, but what will you get in order? Right? And on top of the list, which most times there's been a lot of release by Google, right? By the way, if you take SEO seriously, then you need to have a lot of platforms that you're following to keep up to date with Google. Mine is search engine land. That's one, amongst many others. Then I also follow Google Best Practice. Is it Google Best Practice? Something by Google, where Google releases some of this news on. You need to be following those guys, and on top of the list is website speed. The speed of the website. I mean, you and I know that our users, they have very low attention span, right? So if your website is not fast, they will leave. Once you are trying to open your website and it's not opening, they are bored, they are moving on to the next thing, right? So, and that automatically sends signals. No, so now I'll backtrack to the definition I gave for technical SEO now, and I'll add this to it. Technical SEO is the process of making sure that your website is well put together in a way that when crawlers are crawling, they are getting the right signal and they are understanding your website so much that it is easy for them to rank you organically for several keywords. Right? Get that word, signal. Now, I've added it to a word, meaning that signals are very important. So, and signals are things that you do out of, without not knowing that you're doing them, right? Like, you open your website, you scroll, you spend time on the website, and then you leave. You come back again, you spend time on the website. You are sending, so crawlers are getting signals that, oh, this website, this person has been here, this person was here at this time yesterday, at this same time last week, and this person spent same number of time constantly, and they look and they start to put 1 + 1 together. Oh, this other person came, and this other person also looked like this guy. Meaning that more people that looks like this would like this website. Okay, who are these other people that might like this website? Where are they? So they look at signals a lot. So Web speed is one key element of sending right signal. Web speed. Now, Google have proven sometimes that it's not key. It's not the main reason for you to rank. Like I said, it's just one thing it's one very important signal. One very important signal, and there are tools for you to check the speed of your website. There is GTmetrix. Metrics is spelled METRIX, and then Google Page Insights. So, having gone there, the next one is mobile friendliness. Now, it's not mobile website. No, it's that when people are browsing your website on their mobile phones, the fonts are not too big, right? The resizes to the normal. They resizes appropriately on mobile phones. You know, the mobile phones differs. There are Samsung phones that you can flip open. There are phones that you can flip open, by the way, and there are tabs, right? You know, when they're opening your website on your tab, it shouldn't be showing like as if they are looking at it on a mobile phone, small mobile phone. It should show appropriately based off of the screen size, right? That's mobile friendliness. Everything just automatically arranges itself. The image comes to the top for the image instead of being at the bottom, at the side. If it needs to go to the bottom, but comes to the bottom. You know, thing resizing appropriately. That's another very good signal that okay, this website has been put together. Technical SEO on check, right? Another one important thing is, I mean, this is like a must do. HTTPS. HTTPS is called Hypertext. Let me be sure. HTTPS. Okay. Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. Protocol Secure. That's the full meaning of HTTPS. You know, making sure that your website has that thing is very important, because I mean, as far back as 2015, as far back as 2014, 2015, Google made the release that they were going to block the browsers. Browsers will start notifying users that any website that doesn't have HTTPS, that it's not secured. They made that release. I remember vividly 2013. Google made a release. About websites without HTTPS. 2018, yeah, it was 2018 that Google Chrome, they started flagging all the websites. I mean, but then, okay, so they started flagging the website in 2018, but they made the release earlier than that. That okay, if your website does not have SSL, because majority of the websites that were existing that time were just HTTP websites. So your website will be mywebsite.com, HTTP //mywebsite.com. You know, only few people at that point in time could afford the HTTPS, or then sometimes if you remember, you Google some websites. If you go to some website, maybe like Deal Day back then, dealday.com, you will see before the URL, you will see one green, almost like light green text in the URL box, Google Deal Day. For top organizations, and that's because then SSL was very expensive, and for you to get an SSL, you need to submit some details depending on what you want. So for financial institution, so if you're going for financial institution, would have to file for it for them to get it. You know, what do they do with their website and things, and so. But then by then Google started releasing that, I mean, every website that is not secured, I mean, because frauds were on the high side, you know. So if any website does not have SSL, then the website they would notify the users that the website is fraudulent and the user is browsing the website at their own risk, which was a thing, a big deal. It made a lot of people start running up and down, But yeah, it's still key even now, because now if you open it, if you're going to an HTTP website, it won't open. It won't open, right? So make sure your website has SSL, site security layer. That's SSL. SSL is site security layer. Yes, secure socket layer. Secure socket layer. The security protocol. So it's the same as, it's also, when you get SSL, when you get an SSL, it means that your website would not just be HTTP, it will now be HTTPS, right? One begets the other, right? So those are part of it. These are technical SEO elements that you need to put in place. Another one is, before I even go to crawling, what is the structure? What is the content of your website? What is the content of your website? The home page, the about us page, the services page, the contact us page, the blog. What is going to be there? There has to be a thought process, right? The home page cannot just, the about us page will not just be about us. You should have something there that points people to the service page, something there that points people to the contact us page, something there that points people to the blog, something there that points people to the privacy policy. That's the about us page. So you need to think about it, sit down and write it well. The home page should be like your pillar page. It has a summary of all the other pages. Meaning that on your home page, from your home page, users should be able to click to the about us page. From your home page, you should be able to click to the contact us page. From your home page, you should be able to go to the services pages. From your home page, you should be able to go to the blog. You see? So, but then there has to be a map, after a plan. All the content written out with the right anchor text. By anchor text, I mean, so if you hyperlink a text, if you highlight a text and then you link it to another page, that text that you linked is anchor text. Using the right anchor text, right? I want to make sure that I'm still on time. Using the right anchor text, you're linking to the right. So the content and structure has to be on point. So you've written everything down. On your services page, when they click on the services in the menu, you should open a page that shows all the services in the card format, with an option for them to go and explore each of the services. When they click to go and explore each of the services, there should also be a way for them, each service should be interlinked. If not interlinked, it should be leading somewhere. So a service page should not just be bare. It should also there must be a call to action on every service page, meaning that there's a link to a particular page, a link to a particular page, a link to a particular page. Your contact us page cannot just be there. There must be a conversion point. There must be a thank you page or something. So when anybody that fills any form, they land on the conversion page, thank you page, that you can use to track. So these are things that needs to be intentional. You need to be intentional about. Another thing is your blog. There has to be a content map for your blog. What are the things that you want to talk about forever on your blog? Write them down. Now, for the things that you've written down, build those things that you've written down will be the categories. Now, for them, now build a content pillar for each of the category. What are the subcategories? The subcategories will form the content pillar, the pillar page. They will form the pillar page, because the pillar page is where you talk about all the things in the subcategories, every single thing. So if your pillar page is about weddings, then under the wedding page, you talk about the dress, the food, the makeups, the things, or every other things. Then on the pillar page of wedding, you talk about all of those things in I mean, you may not be able to go deep, but you talk about them with links to the individual pages. So when you talk about food, on that pillar page, you link to the food page. And then on the food page will be able to link back to the pillar page. And then from food page will be able to link to maybe event organizer or to rentals. Maybe they rented plates and things like that. You structure it well, right? I'm going to do more deep dive into content mapping in the in subsequent content, right? So, but then that's key. Now, once all of that is done, the website is submitted to crawler, right? Then you would have created a robot.txt file that highlights what should be crawled, what should not be crawled. Also, in your robot.txt, you must have a sitemap link in there to make it easy for crawler to easily go and crawl your website. Because I mean, like I said, it is the idea of technical SEO is to ensure that crawlers can easily crawl and understand your website, crawl and understand the content on your website, and easily an index, right? So the sitemap is what gives them an idea into what to crawl and where to go, right? And the best place to put your sitemap is in the robot.txt, right? Put it there, right? There's a structure of, all of that we'll talk about it later. I mean, another thing is structured data. Structured data. If you know knowledge panel, snippet on search engines, rich snippet, knowledge panel. How do those information get there? It is through the structured data. We call it schema, right? It is you telling in a structured way. It's JavaScript, to tell crawlers this is the content on this page. It's about this page is the about us page of this company, and this company is created by these people on this also date, and this is the social media handle of this company, and this is the details, phone numbers and things. And by the time you have structured data on almost all the pages, putting all of this together, it's like having 0.5 here, you have 2.5 here, you have 3 here, you have 4.5 here. By the time you had everything up together, maybe everything add up to like 75%. 75% is a pass mark. Before you know it, in few weeks, you're already ranking in Google. And you'll be wondering, and I didn't do anything. Sometimes you don't necessarily have to pay for tools to start ranking, right? It's because you did due diligence, right? Another thing is, I won't talk more about core web fighters, because if your website is built properly, you will know that you will use SVG for your images. You use lazy load format for your images. You use Google browser friendly text fonts and so on, right? It makes your website load faster. Improves the experience on your website. Another thing that you also need to understand in technical SEO is tools, the usage of tools, right? How to use tools. So you need to learn how to use tools. Some of the tools is Google Search Console. Is very important because like I said, you need to submit your website for it to be crawled. For Google, it is called Google Search Console. There's Webmaster for Bing, right? And so on. Yahoo also has theirs. I can't remember that. So you need to submit your website, right? So you need to know how to submit your website to these crawlers. Another one is Screaming Frog. Screaming Frog helps you is an application that you install on your laptop. They have free version that helps you, that you can track like 500, you can audit 500 links. That's the maximum you can do, right? But then it helps you to it crawls all the web pages on your website, and then you can see details. Okay, this one is missing header text, this one has this issue, 301 redirect problem, 401, 506, 503 issues. You will see all the issues that are there, you know, you will see. And then, but you need to learn how to use the tool so that you can also identify. There's also Ahrefs, and there's Ahrefs, there's SEMrush, there's Mango, something. Yeah, Mangoes. There's Mangoes. There is Neil Patel. There are tons of tools that you need to know how to use, right? So for my final tips, I would say you need to ensure that your website is always up to date. 100%, right? For crawlers, right? Like I said, Google crawls every 90 days. But the difference between, if you notice, I don't know if you Google something and then you see in the search, you see the result of maybe a particular news that was released like 5 minutes ago and it's already on Google. If Google crawls 90 days, how come it's showing 5 minutes ago, right? It's because there are different types of websites. There is a corporate website, there are news websites, right? So Google gives preferential precedence to news website because they know that they churn out content often, right? So they give them, so Google crawl news websites in a different way compared to corporate website or e-commerce website or right? So that's part of the things that would happen if you have a news website. You cannot just submit your website as if it's a corporate website. You need to submit to Google News, right? A corporate website will submit to just Google's Search Console, right? Through Google Search Console. So, and then in your sitemap, Google will understand, okay, this page is constantly static, meaning that nothing changes on the pages, but these pages get updated. Maybe like your blog gets constant update on your blog, or your home page gets updated. Once there's a new update on the blog, there's a new one showing on the home page. So Google understands that. So make sure that you keep your website up to date in terms of the images. Make sure that there's no broken images, no broken links. Monitor the links on your website, guys. Make sure that you are monitoring your links. So how you can monitor is using one of these tools, SEMrush or Ahrefs. They help you to keep check of your links. If any time that's broken, if there are broken links, they will tell you which page broke, which link broke, right? What was the former link, and then you can easily reconnect. And then make sure that you have 401 page, that for every page, that anytime people go to your page and you can't find anything, it shouldn't just be blank. It shouldn't just be blank. You should take them to a page, maybe 401 page, and on that 401 page you can have other pages there, other links there that they can easily go to, right? Use proper redirect for different purposes. There's 301, there's 305, there's 302, there's 401, there's 404, there's 503. There are different redirect rules. Make sure you are using the appropriate one. But then before you can use, you need to understand, right? Like I said, there will be more videos that talks about that where I deal with technical SEO and audit your site regularly. Now, thankfully, there are some of these tools are free. You can use their free. They have a free version. SEMrush has free version. Mangoes have free version, so you can easily just use that to crawl your website regularly, as often as possible. So these are just a few things I wanted to talk about. In case you have any questions or things that you want to ask, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. If you feel like there's some things that I didn't say, please kindly drop it in the comment section. If there's something that you need me to talk about, please drop it there. So in the subsequent video, we're going to pick on something and just get our hands dirty. If it's just to keep up, maybe buy a domain name or something, or content mapping and so on, right? See you in the next video. Peace.